It's a program on Netflix, and the program is called Squid Game. Squid Game is the program. And I'm going to tell you, Hot Dog, I don't know if you realize how little I knew about Squid Game before I gave it a shot. Because, like, you had said, you were one of the people. You had said, like, I haven't seen it yet, but everybody's talking about this Squid Game show. And I was like,
Right.
huh. And I was like, I think I heard something about that on Twitter or something. And then, like, just a couple articles crossed my eyes. Like, everybody's watching Squid Game. I was like, all right, let me watch Squid Game. I
You
swear.
also start seeing the memes everywhere before you even know what the show is.
And I didn't even know they were Squid Game memes. Like, I was looking at the Foot Locker.
Exactly.
I was looking at Foot Locker Instagram. And it was like a card with the triangle and the circle and the triangle and the circle. And under
it looks like the PlayStation.
Exactly. It looks like the PlayStation buttons. And under it said, buy some shoes. And I was like, I understand that reference. But, like, so how little I actually knew about the show. And it's pretty great. Like, if you're actually going to enjoy a show, sometimes it's really good to go in with absolutely no knowledge. I literally thought it was a game show where people, like, eat squids or something like that.
That's what it sounds like.
I thought when they said Squid Game, I was like, I guess it's like a game show. Like, I thought people liked it the way people like The Circle. Like, it's just like such an absurd, terrible, like, clearly humanity is just drifting away from our fingertips type of show that people are obsessed with it. So sitting there like, oh, the Squid Game show. And you're like, no, it's the Squid Game show. And I was like, oh, it's a show with games in it, but it's not a game show where they eat squid. It's like, no. And I knew it was like an Asian show, or I don't think I knew it was from South Korea, but I knew it was like an Asian show. And I was like, oh, Asian markets. I think that's where you could get squid. Like, yeah, I'm sure it's a game show where they like eat squid and hit each other with tentacles and
yeah, I get this. Let's dive in.
Yeah, I bet it'd be fun. And it's like, no, it's a drama. And I was like, oh, all right. Well,
it's totally off.
And they go, but no subtitles. It's dubbed. And I was like, oh, I love dubbed. I do love dubbed.
Whoa. Oh my God, Sam, please don't tell me you watched dubbed version?
The dubbed version is great. I love the dubbed version. I'm definitely watching.
Sacrilegious.
Oh no, I'm watching the dub version was the first one that came up for me, and I was like, yep, that's the one. And I mean, the dubbed version, some of it does not translate at all. Like, it completely loses the drama. It's like, they're like, oh, who's this guy? I don't know, just crazy hobo stuff. And I'm like, what? But I don't know, maybe, because look, I like all like these old like B movies, like Italian horror movies and stuff like that. And a lot of those movies are dubbed, and even like Italian Westerns. Like, a lot of those old movies are dubbed, and they're not dubbed very well. But I find it, I don't know, I find it charming for some reason. Like, I find that there's a charm in the dubbing. So yeah, I didn't even realize. The version you watched was subtitled?
Everyone watches subtitle, bro. If you watch a dub, you're kind of like
stupid.
Oh, I don't have time to read. Yeah, you're kind of stupid if you do it.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. No, it doesn't like. It's not the same with subtitles. Yeah, because you're an idiot. No, I get that, and that's a fair criticism. But maybe Netflix might. Did your thing automatic?
Mine was Korean by default, and I didn't even know there was an English option. I accidentally clicked on it, and I was like, ugh, gross, and then I switched it back.
Bro, I didn't even know there was a subtitle version until this conversation just now. I just now found out that there is an option that's not dubbed, because I think my Netflix must just think I'm a big idiot because they put the dubbed version on right away. Like, no, this would be better for you.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You're not going to read.
Yeah, no, this will be way better. And I was like, oh, this actually is pretty good. Yeah. No, I've been watching the dubbed version. I'm about 2 episodes in. And this is not a game show at all. And there's not even any squids in it. Like, it's not a game show with squids. There's like a shape, which I don't even think looks like a squid. But there's
I have no idea what the fuck that looks like.
I don't know what they're talking about, but it's like a shape. So basically the premise is that we are on a journey with this guy who's lost everything. He's real bad with money. He's lost everything. And this is all in the first episode. So I can't spoil this show because I'm only 2 episodes in.
It's the premise. It's the premise of the show.
The premise of
It's
the
not a spoiler.
right, exactly. And the premise of the show is the whole cell anyway. Like that's it's not like you don't know where this thing is going, right? There's only one way this thing goes. But
Right.
so basically this guy's down on his luck. His wife has left him. He tries to see his kid when he can, but he doesn't really have that many options of seeing his kid legally. He's living with his mom, who thinks he's a loser, because he is a loser. You know, he's got a terrible gambling addiction. He's indebted to like the Korean mob. And it's a show from South Korea. It's dubbed, and he accepts an offer from a guy, and he gets drugged, and he wakes up in this space where they found a few hundred other people like him, and they're all in this giant warehouse room full of like beds, you know, and they all wake up and they find out, look, I'd like to play a game. We're going to play a game. Sign up. And they say, if you play 6 games, they're children's games, you have to play and complete 6 games. If you play and complete those 6 games, you get a whole bunch of prize money. If you lose the games, you get eliminated. And everybody's like, all right, we'll do that. Because as it turns out, like there's 400 or 500 people in this room, and they're all indebted to like the mob or loan sharks or other criminal people that it's not like Columbia House, you know? It's actually pretty difficult to get away from this debt. So they find out during the first game. The first game is red light, green light. You know, you got to stop when it says red light. That's where this big, creepy, iconic robot comes in. This iconic robot this is the image of the show, right?
Yeah.
The
First game.
giant, childlike robot with elbow joints. The elbow joints creep me out more than anything for some reason. But they find out while they're playing the first game that, like, you know, obviously red light, green light, if you run, even after they say red light, you get eliminated. Well, what they find out is eliminated means you get murdered, you get murked, you get shot, you get Arn Anderson to death. They shoot you.
Now I pull out my Glock.
Yeah, you get Arn Anderson and you're dead. And people start freaking out. They're like, the fuck? What do you mean? You're gonna if we don't if we don't stop when you say red light, you're gonna shoot us? And they're like, yes, 100% yes. And so that's
Can we
kind
pause the game right now?
No, unfortunately not. We can shoot you right now. No. Okay, we can keep playing. And that's what it is. It's like, you know, people are so down on their luck and beaten up by this capitalistic system that they have no choice but to put their life on the line in this sick and twisted game to try to get their share of, I don't know, $50 million or something like that. It's in
Won.
Yeah, it's in South Korea.
43 billion won.
Yeah, I think that's like $50 million though. Maybe less, maybe
Yeah.
$40 million, something like that. But yeah, so it's not terribly dissimilar from the movie Battle Royale, where people are all put on an island and they all have to kind of compete to the death. You know, the prize money goes up with every player that gets killed. So there is actually this weird benefit, and it becomes this play of morality and how badly do you want this money and all this stuff. And it's very gory. And that's one of the reasons why I celebrate this show. I love when anybody can figure out how to make gore mainstream. You know, when they can figure out how to get the collective to be like, oh, this is a great show. This is a great show. And it's just like blood everywhere. I'm like, okay. I mean, part of me is like, wait, why is it okay when this show does it, but when that show does it, it's gore porn? But then I don't vocalize that because I'm just happy that people are embracing a show with this kind of violence on it. Yeah. I'm not trying. I don't want to get stitches.
But they were just like, oh yeah, Sam, you're right. Totally right. And then they just re-release it. No gore.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to ruin it. So I don't need to do that. That's not my space.
It's a good show. What I just don't understand is all the hype that's behind it.
You said it was mid. You said it was mid. In one of your
mid, bro.
In one of your desperate attempts to not hit the age of 30, You said today that the show was mid. First of all, you complained that the millennials were bolstering this show. You complained that this show was being platformed and overhyped. You didn't say platformed. I said platform. But you complained that the show was being overhyped by the millennials. And I was like, hot dog, the millennials are like 30 and 40-year-olds. What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, what that the implication still stands. It's millennials. I was just pointing out how this is a millennial thing.
Grown-ass people are doing this or kids?
There's some millennials that are like 25, 24.
No, there's not. 24 right? Is not a millennial. First of all, there couldn't be some millennials that are 24 and 25. Like, all the 24 and 25-year-olds would have to be. No, people in their early.
It's a state of mind, bro. It's a state of mind.
Oh. Does that make you a boomer?
No.
Oh.
I was just. But I always say mid. You probably just never heard it because you probably never caught on to it.
You always say mid.
As of like 2 months ago.
2 months ago, more like 2 weeks ago, when when older Twitter started becoming aware of it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I like that one. It's like it.
Didn't it come from like sneaker culture? I assumed it came from sneaker culture.
Yeah, I assumed that too.
Yeah, because high is good and like a Jordan 1 mid is garbage. So when somebody said mid, I got it right away. But when you said it, I was like, ugh.
Yeah, let's retire it.
Yeah.
Like if I said that in front of high schoolers, they'd just be like, ah.
Exactly. I mean, you'd be Steve Buscemi with the skateboard on your back.
Yeah.
Hey, hey guys, that's mid, no cap. Am I right? Oh, hot dog.
Yeah. I tried saying cap, and I was like, no, that's not.
You can't.
That's not gonna work for me.
You can't. Because were you trying to figure out like how is cap supposed to work in a sentence? I'm not sure.
Yeah. And then I started saying like my roommates are actually hip, and then I say it like 6 months after they've been saying it
because you finally get it. Like you finally get it, but they know. They're like, it's not for you anymore.
No,
it's not for you.
But what I don't get is just hype. All the articles and the Netflix CEO going, it's on track, if it's not already, to be the biggest Netflix show ever. That's insane. Well, there's been so many Netflix shows.
First of all, like, I don't know why you're mad at the Netflix CEO for just reporting numbers, but like that's yeah, but they're literally, I don't know if you read this. This is going to drive you crazy. There's a South Korean broadband internet service provider, an ISP, that is suing Netflix because of the amount of traffic that this show, and obviously everything else on Netflix, right? But I mean, it's happening now when this show is hottest. So this show is what's being credited for it. But this show is making it so that the South Korean broadband provider is suing Netflix for fucking up their business because everybody is streaming the show.
A bunch of like just people jumping on the Korean bandwagon.
That's okay.
That's what it is.
Yes, that's what it has. Nothing to do with like, I mean, it's good, but it's not that good. And I don't know why you guys are hyping this so much. You feel like you have been a K-pop guy. And you've embraced Korean pop culture. First of all, you haven't even that much, but you think that you've really embraced Korean pop culture before it was cool, which you didn't. But you think that you did. You think that you did. And now that it's becoming super, super mainstream, like K-pop has its own category at the VMAs. Like BTS is not this like people actually know BTS songs and stuff. It's not this. Couldn't be less obscure. They're more popular than any act in America with Americans. And now this show comes out and people are like, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. Your little indie band, which is somehow Korea.
All of South Korea.
Everything in South Korea has become mainstream. And you're going, no, this is supposed to be my thing that makes me unique and quirky.
Yeah, you like South Korea, Sam? Why don't you name 5 cities in South Korea?
Yeah. And Seoul doesn't count.
Yeah. Of course, you mentioned Seoul. Bro, I've been on the K-pop drama train since like 2010. You know,
First of all, you were about to say 2000 and then you added a decade to it. You went 2010.
you know, ever since like it wasn't on Netflix, it wasn't readily available. I had to go on like one of those like obscure websites and search out the show, and and it wasn't even like official dubbing. It was like a fan just dubbed, subtitled the whole thing.
Bro,
don't say I'm a phony. I've been there, buddy.
You can still fanfic Squid Games if you want to. Nobody's stopping you from just because there's more fanfic out there doesn't mean that yours won't be good, buddy.
Yeah, but they're not. It's not because there's so many Korean shows that are good, and then this one comes along, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's check it out. It was like regular. It was regular shit,
bro. It's not regular.
Show that blows up.
This show is dope. I've watched only 2 episodes of it, but first of all, the fact that there's gore, the fact that there's drama, people love this uncomfortable thing. Like, and I think that part of, I guess it's part of capitalism, right? Part of the way our lives work, and part of what comes with freedom is this thing where like there are potential highs and potential absurd lows. That's why people love like that episode of The Sopranos where Tony comes in and takes over the guy's sporting goods store because he's a degenerate gambler. Like there's this thing that we all have inside of us that's like, yet no matter how much we have, what would we do if we lost it all? And the more that you have, like if you have a family, if you have a house, if you have a wife, if you like as you accumulate, and then you start buying stuff that you like, you got your TV, you got in my case, you got your sneakers or whatever. And then you go, well, what if I got involved in some weird shit? What if I started, doing the wrong thing? It's the same reason why Intervention is such a popular show. What if one time I tried this drug and I got totally hooked? It's kind of like, I think it's the same thing that appeals to people about roller coasters, except this is real life. You can feel every single person can relate to that thing of like, look, thank God I don't have this problem where I'm going to cash my mom's insurance check or whatever and take it to the horse betting OTB and lose everything and get indebted to the mafia. But like all of us are 3 steps away from that. We can all
I have that problem with B&H.
Exactly. You're sitting there going like, you have debt. You have these creditors coming for you. Like they're
B&H sharks.
Right. What if your company went under? What if tomorrow? Exactly. That's. but I'm saying if your company went under, you're totally screwed. You're not living within your means.
No.
You paid $200 for that director's chair behind you. That's crazy. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
But
it's just I get a raise, and it's just I'm gonna raise my expenses now. That's what's happening.
That's it. And we all do it. Everybody does it. Like the percentage of people that live check to check is like astronomical. This idea that student loans are just a thing that you just get. Like, of course, if you get into college, you then go for student loans. Like, it's just, why wouldn't you enter adulthood? Why wouldn't your first step into independence be with loans? You should be in debt before you can start any. Why wouldn't it be? That's the way the system works. Like, it's just normal. And you go like, well, what kind of house can I afford? And nobody thinks about what kind of house they can afford. Everybody thinks about what kind of down payment can I afford.
Nice.
Right? That's it. Like you go, even when your apartment, even if you're renting, you don't think about what kind of apartment can I afford. You think about what can I afford to put down the first and the last of, and then I'll figure out the rest of it as I go. Right?
Let's get that 3% down payment, baby.
That's it. How many months ahead are you in your bank account on rent?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. I go week to week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's that element of the drama that I love stories like that. Everybody can relate to it. None of us are that safe. We all could get fucked at any moment. That would leave us in this position where you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to put my life on the line to play red light, green light. And if I win, I get $1 million. And if I lose, I get shot in the face. Like, nobody is that far away from having to do that. And
So
when
it's an
you,
easy game.
but yeah, I mean, it's not a difficult game. It's like red means stop, but you can't move at all. That's what I didn't know. I thought you just can't move forward, but you can't even move your arms around. That's tough. That's a little tougher, especially if you're scared because there's a whole bunch of guns pointed at you, and Arn Anderson is just peeking out his car window.
Yeah, you play red light, green light, and you say, "Oh, please don't hurt me."
Take out my Glock.
How far did you get today?
2 episodes.
2 episodes. Okay,
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. And it really is, though. It really is with the dubbing. Like, he goes into the police station, and the guy goes, hey, what was that guy's issue? And the cop literally goes, I don't know, some crazy hobo stuff. What can I help you with? And then, like,
that's great.
And then there's a scene where the guy reflects on it, and he goes, oh, remember when that cop said that? And it plays that scene again, some crazy hobo stuff. And you're like,
oh, okay. So you haven't even gotten to like the worst English dubbing. Was there are some parts where like they use like there's actual Americans and whatnot, but it's so fucking weird. I'll wait until you get to that and then we'll talk about it. But
I mean, so this is why the show in 2 episodes. This is why I'm enjoying it. Number 1, it's got that. Number 2, it's got violence. It's got violence and gore and also this thing where it's and this is why like Saw was so good because it's got this gore that's happening to like relatable people. People, it doesn't seem like it's this worlds away. It's like, holy shit, like that would be insane to watch that stuff happen. And then, I mean, the colors and these massive sets and the design of everything is like phenomenal. It looks crazy. It looks like
big budget.
The whole show looks like an NFT to me. the whole show with all like the pinks and like the spy. It looks like that famous painting with all the staircases going everywhere and everything. It's amazing. But yeah, I mean, look, is this gonna go down in history as my favorite show of all time? Like, no, it's not my favorite show of all time, but it's pretty badass. No,
I mean, yeah, it's good. I gave it like a 7.5.
I mean,
which is good.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not an 8.
Oh, well, yeah, it's not great.
7.5 is a C plus.
Yeah,
maybe.
And so it's like
C plus.
If I watched it the way you watched it, I mean, not the way
with
you watched it now, because now you know. No, well, now you know that there's so much hype. But like, if you didn't know anything about it, if I watched,
I thought it was a game show.
Any hype,
I thought it was a game show with squids.
So you were already pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was like, nobody's actually eating squid. I thought it was like, oh, who can eat the most squids? And I was like, I mean, I guess. I was literally like, I'll watch this shit show just to talk about it tonight. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know?
So like, if I went in that way, I probably would have enjoyed it more. But just with all that hype being the biggest show on Netflix, I was expecting so much more.
I see.
And that's on me. Maybe.
Rusty Taylor says, it's not better than My Two Dads or anything, but it's okay. But what's better than that show, My Two Dads? Everybody talks about Paul Reiser and how good he was on Mad About You, but it was nothing compared to My Two Dads. Nothing.
Best show on Netflix.
My Two Dads? I didn't know it was on Netflix. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep watching the show, man. I'm looking forward to watching more. It's fun. They said that the phone number on the back of the business card, people always wonder, like some people are annoyed by the fact that in American movies and on TV, they always do the 555 number. Like some people, they say it takes them out of the movie. They do the 555 thing. But they said they didn't do that. They put a real South Korean phone number on the back of this business card in this show. The guy who owns it says he's getting 4,000 calls a day. 4,000.
Hi, I'd like to join your game, please.
Yeah, 4,000 phone calls a day. And get this, but this is how brilliant people are. There's a South Korean politician that's offering the guy 85 grand cash for his phone number. which is like brilliant.
Ah,
I mean, it's like having
that's good.
squidgame.com or something like that. Everybody's
Yeah.
calling this number and just the recorded message picks up going, vote for whoever.
Vote for me. I'll give you 45 billion won.
Exactly. There's a big piggy bank hanging above you that cash is pouring into. Also, I'm going to kill some of you, but the rest of you will get a lot of money. That should have been what Andrew Yang did. Andrew Yang was just like, I'll give all of you some money. If he had been like, I'm going to kill half the population, but the ones that survive are going to get triple the money, I think a lot more people would vote.
I think about it.
You would, right?
Because you ain't gonna get me. You know.
I mean, hot dog, let's be 100% honest. There's a good chance that you would get got.
You ain't getting me. I'm leaving with something, you know?
Yeah, no, I don't know that. You're a very gullible guy.
Uh,
You're kind of what's known in some circles as a sucker, you know, a mark.
yeah, look at it. Look at this. Look at this, Sam. Green light, red light.
Okay, let's try right now. Let's see if you survive, okay?
Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. You can go back to your director's chair. Okay.
Okay.
Green light. Red light. I got you. You're dead. You just boom, you're dead. You just
That was a delay. That was a
No,
delay.
you just
on...
died. You definitely just died.
No, that was totally a delay. I totally had that.
I think I just earned myself a little extra.
I would have had to like appeal that decision if I was there. Like, hey,
You
don't
could
shoot me.
you appeal these nuts is what they would tell you. Because you just I got the hot dog money put into my piggy bank just now. So yeah, that's what I'm watching. That's what I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna watch some more of it after the show tonight.